Why the title?
Republican Gomorrah. I felt that I was in a Gomorrah, in a Gomorrah-like environment while I was covering this movement in the last 6 years. And if you remember all the scandals from Tom DeLay, Two-Step Tommy, from the Stars, to Ted Haggard, the anti-gay megachurch preacher who was caught with a male bodybuilder escort, to Mark Foley, the Republican congressman who is, I mean, you could go on and on. He was caught sexually harassing underage male pages while they were trying to pass an amendment to the Constitution banning gay marriage, to Jack Abramoff. This is a party that's presented itself as the pro-family party, the all-American party of mom, apple pie, God, guns, and gays, the whole thing. And at the same time, they are acting out all of their inner conflicts. And so it actually, to me, seemed like an environment that was defined by sin, by the desire to transcend these sinful feelings they had inside themselves. And at the same time, they wound up acting out their sin when they attained power.
Were you surprised that you ended up, because there's a lot of sex in your book?
There is. It's not really like sexy.
No, but it's not at all sexy. But there is a lot of sex in your book. Were you surprised at how much sex came up in the course of your journey?
Well, this is a movement that's obsessed with sex. The men of the Christian right are more, no one talks about gay men more than the men of the Christian right. And why is that? So I think everyone here is well aware that the Christian right is a homophobic movement that continues to produce scandals that reveal many people in the movement to be repressed homosexuals who are actually in their campaign to cleanse the land of homosexual sin, are actually trying to cleanse their own souls. And I can rattle off so many names, but I found some research that sort of highlights this phenomenon and offers scientific insight into it. In 1996, Henry Adams, Lester Wright, and Bethany Lohr, psychiatrists and researchers at the University of Georgia, investigated the link between homophobia and repressed homosexuality, surveying over 50 self-declared heterosexual males on their opinions of gays. The subjects were then separated into two groups, homophobic and non-homophobic. Both groups were shown gay male pornography and were monitored for signs of sexual arousal. The study revealed that by an overwhelming margin, the subjects who registered the largest increase in penis circumference, those most aroused by gay pornography, also held the most homophobic opinions. The remarkable findings of this experiment suggest a clue as to why the modern radical right, the most homophobic political movement in American history, has become a sanctuary for repressed gay men, why it's become the Republican Party has become the largest walk-in closet in America. But I just want to say that I'm so proud of the Republicans this year because they've managed to have some heterosexual scandals.
Right. Thank goodness for some women prostitutes.
Good.
That's all right. I mean, the other piece that really fascinated me, and I would love you to talk a little bit about James Dobson, is the sadomasochistic aspect of it.
I've been attacked for it because sadomasochism carries connotations of leather-bound perverts. And what I point out is that the only difference, first of all, James Dobson, for those of you who don't know, is the most powerful figure of the Christian right. He has one of the top 5 radio shows in the country. His group, Focus on the Family, is funded to the tune of $150 million a year. He's directly responsible for re-electing George Bush in 2004. But he's a very powerful figure, and he's a central figure in my book because I think he cultivated the mentality that defines this movement. And part of the mentality is sadomasochism. And I point out that the difference between his book, Dare to Discipline, which was left for my parents by an evangelical au pair who took care of me for a year, as a parting gift.
Oh my God.
This is a book this is a child rearing manual.
The
only difference between that and Larry Townsend's The Leatherman's Handbook is that what Larry Townsend in his S&M manual advises is voluntary between 2 adult males, but what Dobson is advising is not voluntary. It's a small child being beaten by a parent who wants to instill in that child a respect and even a worship for authority and God. So here's something that Dobson says in that book, and this book has been reprinted dozens of times, sold millions of copies. It is an important manual in our, an important book in our culture. Let me just, can I quote from the book?
Please, go ahead.
A child should be spanked with sufficient magnitude as to make him cry. After the spanking, after the crying is done, the child will want to crumple to your breast. You should welcome him with warm and loving arms. Now, what is that? Hitting and loving at the same time. It's sadomasochism. And I'm not talking about the sexual kink, but it's actually a mentality. The psychologist Erich Fromm, who inspired the central ideas in my book, he writes that sadomasochism is the essential characteristic of the authoritarian personality, the kind of people you see in these videos. They're sadistic in that they want to harm and kick down those who they perceive as weaker than them, foreigners, minorities, homosexuals, Jews, the poor. And at the same time, they're masochistic. They have this drive to prostrate themselves, to bow down before a strong leader, whether it's Dobson or even Sarah Palin or George W. Bush or the macho Jesus from Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ.